Okay, I'm going to try and make a video here on how to do thrums without them showing through your work with the little heart stitches. This is roving. It is it's yarn before it's spun, and that is what we use to make our thrums. Thrums are simply short little pieces of it that we work into the inside of a mitten or a slipper to make them nice and warm and toasty. They're very warm. Normally, most patterns show that they can do that with replacing one stitch with knitting a thrum into it, which makes this nice little heart design on these mittens. However, my boys are not real fond of hearts on their mittens, and I think it's cute, but I decided to come up with a way that I can make them the mittens without it showing. So bear with me as I'm doing this. I haven't made a video before, and it's all a little new to me. Okay. So I'm working with a pattern, and I'm still doing my thrums every 4 rows like we would do regularly, but I'm doing them on the green rows. So I have done 3 red rows without the thrums, and now I'm going to do the green one. And I like to do a stitch or 2 into my needle before I start it. Now when I do prepare my thrums, a piece like this is just a cut piece 4 to 5 inches long. It's adjustable a little bit however you want, and I get 3 or 4 thrums out of this piece. I just pull it into a couple sections so that I have it ready to go. Now when I'm ready to do the thrum, I insert my needle into the first stitch, and then I place the thrum here with an end about 1 inch into the end of the mitten, the rest of it on the outside. And I knit my stitch going over top of the thrum so that it's pinching it in between. You can see the red stitches there and the new green one. Go ahead and knit the stitch. When you get ready to do the second one, I pull it down over top of my yarn, so my yarn is coming out here on the right side, and I go ahead and knit my stitch, once again taking it over top of the thrum, and that is pinching it in there between there. And I do that twice more. The next stitch I pull it up and then knit, and then down and tuck it in and knit. Now if you look at it, you can see that it is zigzagged in between there, so it's in there really nice and sturdy. It's not going to go anywhere. Actually, I think this is more sturdy than the hearts are. It feels much more sturdy to me. I like to put a stitch or 2 between my next thrum and get ready to do the next one here. One of the other options is buying thrum or roving that matches your yarn color. However, I bought a lot of this color thinking I would make a blanket out of it. One of those nice big blankets that you see where there's big stitches. However, I've learned that this collects all kinds of hair and little bits of dirt, and living on a farm with 6 children and horses and cows and cats and goats and whatever other animal around is probably not going to work well for us. So I have tons of this color, and so this option is working better for us. Okay, once I'm done there with that row, you can see how I placed them in there. Then my next row on top of that, normally I'd continue working around in the round, but for making a shorter video, I'm going to go ahead and do my next row. You can see they're not really showing very much here on the outside, but sometimes when you put your next row on top and you're not putting any thrums in that, it kind of pulls apart a little bit as you work your row in. So I'm going to finish working this row in here quickly. Oops. Now I'm working with double strands of green because my green yarn was a little thinner than the red, and I wanted it to be roughly about the same thickness. So now that I've done my red row on top, and I look at it, you can see little bits of those thrums poking through the stitches there. So what I do then is I go on the inside and I get both ends of the thrum, and I just kind of pull it and wiggle it back and forth a little bit. And let's get the other end here. Pull this and wiggle it, and then you can see they disappear and they're no longer there. And that's pretty much it. And If you have any questions, feel free to message me. I hope you enjoy this, and I think there's a lot of thrumming in my future as I have lots and lots of this roving. Thank you.